Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
Much like Barron. Barron's doing a very good job being Barron. Have you noticed what a good job Barron's doing, being Barron and tall and things? Not important now, but you retweeted Ron Filipowski, who said, Kash Patel says is Trump's next CIA director. We just played that. He will lead an all-out effort from patriots appointed by Trump to jail people in government and media. We just played that. We will find the conspirators in government and media. Yes, we're going to come after people in the media. And you just said, obviously, Trump will black bag the enemies of the people first. I also realized that on a D-list level, I'm a person in the media. Yeah, it'll take him a while to get to us, Bob, so we'll...
Right. Our obscurity is a
we'll
shield.
Be able to see it coming.
Our obscurity.
You're first, Miller, before Bob and me or Chris.
We'll be like that Chris Rock, routine about mass stabbings. They're like, oh, they stabbed all the big people in the media. Oh, you see it coming at us, right? Yeah.
Well, this came up on my podcast, and we were talking about it. I think it was Jody. I think you and David were on the show at the time. And
the Bob Cesca show, which is essential to American democracy. Yes, go ahead.
Exactly. Like if Chris disappears, then I know that we're next.
Yes.
Like, so if
Why
the line of succession gets to
way before me or Bob or David.
I think it's clear that you're on the front line.
I don't know why we landed on Chris. I mean,
we know Stephanie's way first. We know you're.
If Stephanie doesn't show up one day,
right?
No, I have Simply Safe. What?
I'm the right-wing tool of the show.
That's true. They'll spare you.
Yeah, why would I get taken?
And you just said, I get what you're saying, but I refuse to allow a fascist idiocracy to roll on without doing my part to stop it. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's all of us can do, right?
Right. And I think there are still lots of people who are on the fence right now, insufferably so. I mean, I know it drives us crazy to understand that, there's some people who just don't know whether they want democracy or fascism because gas prices are $3 and Joe Biden's 81 years old.
Yeah.
All the usual ridiculous reasons. And I think those people are still convincible. I think what you have to do is get the message out in terms of, here's a great example. We sit here and we follow these news stories every day. Our faces pressed up against our phones and our computer screens, absorbing every last detail of what Trump has been saying or what's been going on in Congress. And so we're understanding of the stakes here. And I think there are a great number of people, the folks as they're often called in politics, who don't follow politics 24/7, who aren't watching cable news and listening to the Stephanie Miller Show, even though they should.
Right.
And so what they do is they just randomly absorb things as they go by the television, and they hear someone say something at work over at the water cooler, and then they think that's the truth, and they don't understand what's actually going on. And I think it's our responsibility to get the message out in terms of what really is happening with things like Project 2025, what Donald Trump intends to do if he becomes president again, the disaster that's going to be for democracy and for humanity, quite honestly, if you loop in the climate crisis. And so this is something, I mean, you got to keep going. You got to keep moving forward. You got to keep getting the word out because these people need to hear it. There are lots of people who need to get the word and all the details of all the things that could potentially happen.
And don't wait till the last minute. Start now. You know, we have almost a year. For instance, you said if Trump gets his way, your insurance could be legally rescinded as soon as you get sick or injured. The ACA banned this process called rescission, which also passed myriad consumer protections for all insurance customers, not just marketplace policyholders. Again, there is nothing that's hyperbole now. He's telling you what he's going to do in advance. This is not us fear-mongering.
Well, this is a great example of what I'm talking about with regard to the Affordable Care Act, because I think there are a great number of people, even some people in the legacy news media, who don't understand what this legislation does for the healthcare system and for customers of health insurance, all of us, basically. And one of the main things is I think people believe that the ACA is only for people who buy policies on the marketplace or people who have pre-existing conditions. There are myriad consumer protections in the Affordable Care Act that make insurance less expensive than it was before and cover more. There's free preventative care. There's, kids can stay on their parents' policy until they're 26 years old.
I remember... Jackie Schechner screaming over and over again, Obamacare's not a thing. It's not a thing. The Affordable Care Act is just a law with consumer protections in it that protects all of us. It's not, it's like that famous thing in Kentucky. The guy goes, I don't have that, none of that Obamacare. That sucks. I have this Kentucky net or whatever, Connect.
Of course. Yeah. And by the way, it was the marketplace in Kentucky is one of the most popular marketplaces in the entire country. And I'm sure there are lots of red hat Republicans availing themselves of the affordable health insurance that they found on the marketplaces. So, I mean, this is one of many, many things that will go away if Donald Trump is able to successfully repeal the Affordable Care Act. And just everything becomes more expensive. I mean, if people are voting based on inflation, imagine what your healthcare costs are going to be. The bankruptcies are going to go back up again. There's going to be 3,000 deaths per month again for lack of health insurance. So all these things are going to happen. Yeah, but you know what? Bread is 20 cents cheaper, maybe, if Donald Trump doesn't trigger another recession.
I mean, you took that on. You said, I'm voting for Trump because inflation. You said Trump presided over both a manufacturing recession and a deep economy-wide recession, presided over 2.9 million net jobs lost, left office with a $3 trillion budget deficit, and will make healthcare more expensive and cover less. I mean, you got to just keep repeating this stuff because it is... I don't even know what to say about the facts and figures that are so clear. And then I think what they try to say is, well, COVID. It's like, well, yes, part of the disaster was his disastrous response to COVID, but part of it was before COVID.
Yeah.
There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine, I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.